This is the Propaganda Report. That was the music of Justin Ridgway. I am Brad Binkley here with Ian Covell. Ian, how are you?
Dude, I'm great. Never been better.
Fantastic. That's the best way to be, is at the peak of life at all times. And I'm riding high after getting back from Bro Grove this past weekend as Josh and I went down there. We had a great time all around. Thank you to Top and Corbo of the Nephilim Deaf Squad for having us. They did a great job with the event. Josh got to do a little bit up there, and I'll tell you a little bit about one of the things Josh did later on. We got to hang out with a lot of cool people who listened to the show. Also got to see my Whatever This Is podcast brothers, Austin Picard and Sam Tripoli. So it was all around a good time. I'm sure we'll
nice, man.
Elaborate on it. And to have you come with us one of these times when you have the weekend off.
I gotta. Well, it's not just that. Is I gotta get my own room. You know, we discovered that.
Yeah, we got
I'm a diva. I need my own room.
He needs his own room. There's a bit. Josh snores. I'm able to deal with it. You know, full disclosure.
I am not.
Ian is not.
I am
very hilarious.
Not able to deal with it.
He is not. It's always get to work my crisis communication skills during moments like that. That was always.
Why don't we just leave now?
It's always a time to remember.
Maybe just leave now.
Maybe one day we'll do like a little extra segment and we'll replay that and improv.
We should just live stream the behind the scenes hotel room.
It was a very funny moment.
It was really fun.
At one event when Josh was snoring, I felt the anxiety because I knew Ian was not going to be okay with the snoring. And I tried to stop it before it happened, but I could not. Another time, another place. Very funny moment we can all laugh about now. Jack. So Jack's in the chats here. Jack, we got to hang out. It was great to see you. It's cool to meet people that we chat with in person. Thanks for coming out and all the support and everything. Had a great time talking to you. I'm sure I talked your ear off, as I tend to do, but it was fantastic to meet in person. So just want to give a little bit of pre-warning today. I'm a little bit under-prepared for today's show, because today's show might bomb like Netanyahu.
Whoa.
Not exactly like Netanyahu. I don't think any children are listening.
I'll be your Ed McMahon.
War, what is it good for? The military-industrial complex. Okay, there we go. So there we go. We have war drums beating. Maybe not. At least talk of it anyway. But aren't there always talk of war drums beating? With all of that going on in the news right now, before we get into that very heavy subject, I'd like to start with something far more pressing to me personally. Anyway, more local to me, which is the $260 million lawsuit that's been filed against media mogul Tyler Perry for sexual harassment, sexual assault.
You knew this was coming. Why did it take this long?
And the retaliation also. Right. So we knew this was coming because we are in Atlanta. We know people who he's approached, right? People very close to us we know. And the thing that's really stung me about this lawsuit is that the guy who is suing him, claiming things like, if you don't, go along with some of these advancements, that your character is going to get killed off, and then his character immediately gets killed off because he resisted it. And there's some other details. I'm not going to go into those, but it really stings me because the guy who is suing him for $260 million is a skinny white actor with dark brown hair who was in one of his shows. I am a skinny white actor with dark brown hair who was once in one of Tyler Perry's shows, who was personally directed by Tyler Perry. At no point in time did he even try to touch my D. At no point in time did he try and pin me into the corner. At no point in time did he say, hey, if you have a problem with your zipper, come into my office. Maybe I can help you get it up. None of that ever happened, okay? I should be getting the opportunity at $260 million right now, but I'm not pretty enough for Tyler Perry. I would have gussied myself up, Ian, had I known. And now I got to watch this guy probably get some sort of settlement for millions of dollars. It should be my money, Ian.
I know. Listen, we are where we are because of the choices we made, Brad. You made some bad choices. I'm sorry, but
should have worn some eyeliner.
You should. Yeah, you should have. Walked a little, like sashayed a little bit in front of him, bent over a
I didn't
lot
know
in
how to
front of
walk
him.
back then. What's wrong? I would have resisted, but at least I could have filed some sort of
You should
accusation.
have just given him a blowjob, dude.
No, I see. That's where I would have crossed. That's where I would have stopped in pursuit of the money. Okay, I would have. All you need is enough to say it's inappropriate. Of course, when I was on his show, it was before cancel culture, so I guess it was. Guess I was just a man before my time. He did make me take my shirt off in one scene and pretend to get raped by a woman, a very old black woman. Of course, that was on the. You know, I consented to that. So, nevertheless.
He made another one of our friends recreate that rape scene over and over and over for him. Yeah. He was in it was a movie he was in, and he was raping someone in the movie, and Tyler Perry made them do the scene an uncomfortable amount of times.
Really?
Yes.
That's interesting.
Yes.
I've been in a situation where it was
because especially when you know he's 3 and done.
Right.
He does 3 takes and he's moving on.
Was Tyler Perry? Yeah, Tyler. So we filmed a whole episode, and he gets it done quickly.
Done. It's like done.
But he wanted to make sure to really catch the authenticity.
Yeah, we really got to get this one
of that scene.
Yeah.
So I was on this thing once where this director actually, to demonstrate, got down on top of the female actress who he had very noticeably been hitting on the entire day, and very uncomfortably demonstrated how to do the rape scene to the other actor.
Oh, wow.
It was very, very uncomfortable, and I imagine if she wanted, she could have some sort of.
That's what I do to all my employees. I act out the sexual harassment things they're not allowed to do.
Right.
And I ask for volunteers. Hey, come on up here. I need a volunteer. We're going to talk about sexual harassment.
You do that at your day job?
Yeah. Well, it's my only job. It's not my. I don't have. It's people say it's my day job. It's like, I mean, it's my only job.
You do that at your only job.
Yeah. I do that at my only job.
Onlyjobs.com.
Yeah.
That's what they should call this.
Yeah, I do this at my only job. I'm like, hey guys, we got to go over sexual harassment today. I need a female volunteer.
Not you. Somebody better looking. Could you come over here?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, no fatties. Let me get somebody. Let me get somebody that I need to really want to do it.
Are you gay?
Yeah, no, get.
You won't be for long.
See, this is not the type of thing I would be admitting during a show, because we're obviously just parodying Tyler Perry. We would never do.
Absolutely, just joking.
It's a crazy. We used to throw these type of people out of the theater when they were too creepy.
Yeah.
And then they go somewhere else and do it.
Yeah.
And what is this? Streaming? Oh wait, we're getting another. I just saw this very long comment about streaming goals. We are getting spam in the stream yet again. The spam has reached enormous levels. Wait till you get your brain chips, ladies and gentlemen. Every other message, you're going to get a spam message coming straight into your head. And I was thinking about this the other day. You know how you can't even type a text message without the dots showing on somebody else? So they're just watching, and then if you stop, it's like, well, what were you going to say? Well, it's like an invasion of privacy. What I do is I type a message like into another empty text box, and then I copy and paste it, because I don't want people waiting while the dots are there if I'm thinking about what I'm going to say. But you get the brain chip. People are going to have those dots coming across their forehead when they're thinking. You know what I mean?
I'm going to get the brain chip probably.
You're going to get it.
Yep. I'll be able to run faster. Dude.
I don't think that's the promise of the brain chip.
Survival of the fittest, dude.
I don't think that's the promise of the brain chip. So, real quick, we're going to hit a few things about the Iran war. Excuse me, I get them mixed up. And then we have a guest. He is here a bit early, but we got to cover the basics here before we can bring him in. So, you guys know a little bit about the timeline. We bombed Iran's nuclear facilities. Iran launched missiles back at the U.S. base in Qatar. There's nobody injured, nobody killed. No Americans were, because they told us about it beforehand. Then on Tuesday, Trump announced a ceasefire between Israel and Iran, and then he called it like an end to the 12-day war. But then almost immediately, the ceasefire was violated, and Trump was not happy about that. Here's what he said in response. And we have a very special guest that you're not going to get anywhere else. It's coming in. So I want to get through this just so we can have the background and find out firsthand from some of the actors involved and everything. Here's Trump responding to the violation of said ceasefire earlier today. The question was about Iran violating the ceasefire.
Do you believe that Iran is still Yeah, I do. They violated it, but Israel violated it too. Israel, as soon as we made the deal, they came out and they dropped a load of bombs, the likes of which I'd never seen before. The biggest load that we've seen. I'm not happy with Israel. You know, when I say, okay, now you have 12 hours, you don't go out in the first hour and just drop everything you have on them. So I'm not happy with them. I'm not happy with Iran either. But I'm really unhappy if Israel's going out this morning because the one rocket that didn't land, that was shot, perhaps by mistake, that didn't land. I'm not happy about that. You know what? We basically have two countries that have been fighting so long and so hard that they don't know what the fuck they're doing. Do you understand that?
And he walks off. So it was an interesting moment.
I fucking love that moment. Sorry.
Today.
Oh,
I personally think it's all a bit of theater.
I love it. I don't care what it is.
I think Trump has to do that because I think he's good at reading the tea leaves. He knows his base is divided on the strikes in Iran. I personally don't think we should be involved in any of that. But there's people on the other side of it that and by doing this, maybe it's genuine. Maybe it's Trump hearing things and saying, rethinking things from some of the pressure, like from Marjorie Taylor Greene, who went off on him yesterday. In fact, I can play a little bit of what Marjorie Taylor Greene said yesterday. And then we can talk about it a bit and bring on our guest. Just right. Well, yeah. So here's Marjorie Taylor Greene, her thoughts. Now, Marjorie Taylor Greene also liked that, but here's what she said yesterday or Sunday.
Well, I got to add on one more thing, Steve, and I'm sure you've covered it on your show. Mark Levin was one of the biggest never-Trumpers when President Trump was running for president. So it absolutely makes me sick. It makes me want to throw up in my mouth that he's one of the voices that is constantly texting and calling President Trump's phone and showing up at the White House demanding for America to go to every single foreign war on behalf of Israel. I'm really sick and disgusted at that. And it's people like him and Lindsey Graham and all these other people that never really supported Trump in the beginning. People like me, regular people like me, donated to President Trump. We showed up at his rallies. We voted for him. We truly supported him. I've supported him the entire time. Mark Levin was a never-Trumper, compared President Trump, claimed that he was the same as Code Pink. All of this horrible attacks on President Trump, and he only supports him now because he couldn't beat him, because people like me supported President Trump and got him elected. And Steve, I've spent 5 years, I've spent millions of dollars, millions of my own money, traveling this entire country campaigning for President Trump, defending him when everyone abandoned him after January 6th. And I would say I represent MAGA far more than Mark Levin or any of these other neocon suck-ups ever will and ever do, because MAGA is not for foreign wars. Yep. We are not for regime change, and we are for America first. That's not isolationism at all. That's for fixing our $37 trillion debt. That's fighting for border security. That's fighting for my kids, Steve. My kids are 22, 25, and 27, and I want them to have a future. And I am sick and tired of people like this. A lot of these people are going to be dead in 10 to 15 years. But my kids' future matters to me. And right now, their generation can't buy a house. They can't afford insurance. They can't get good paying jobs. They can't afford groceries. They can't afford to buy a car. They can't afford gas. They don't know if they're ever going to be able to save money for their retirement because they're barely making it paycheck to paycheck. And I am so angry about this. So all of them have crossed my line. And you want to know what I have that Mark Levin doesn't have? I have a voting card, Steve. I have a voting card because I have a district that believes in the greatness of America, that believes in America First policies, and desperately wants President Trump, his administration, and the Republican-controlled House and Senate to enact and support this. And I tell you what, 6 months in, Steve, and here we are, turning back on the campaign promises, and we bombed Iran on behalf of Israel. Yes, it was on behalf of Israel. We're entering a nuclear war, the World War III, because the entire world is going to erupt. And you want to know the people that are cheering it on right now? Their tune is going to drastically change the minute we start seeing flag-draped coffins on the nightly news, on Fox News that brainwashes all the baby boomers, and on CNN that brainwashes all the Democrat baby boomers. And that is exactly how this is going to go down.
Well, so she's about to CrossFit Mark Levin to death. It looks like a lot of what she said. I would agree with a lot of that. I don't necessarily believe that we're about to go straight into World War III like she suggests. But as I said, she also was very happy with what Trump said in response to the ceasefire stuff being violated. Has there ever been a ceasefire that hasn't been immediately violated? Is a question that I have.
No.
No, never. If you want to ensure that a war continues, make sure there's a ceasefire. Yeah. It will be violated. It just seems like
just means just one more.
Right. It's just one more. And Jack Burton says they should get a job at Raytheon. Right. Yeah. It seems to be who they work with anyway. Denver says Trump's Mo routine. He was comparing him to the Three Stooges earlier. Courtney says we don't deserve him, talking about Trump saying these two countries who don't know what the F they're doing. And Ian, we have the Ayatollah coming on the show here in a moment. Are you familiar with the Ayatollah?
Oh, yeah. He's been in the news a lot lately.
Do you want to give your thoughts on everything before we bring him on?
I mean, yeah. I so I think I'm somewhere in between Marjorie Taylor Greene and Mark Levin. I don't think those are the only two opinions.
Yeah.
I think there's somewhere in between there. Yeah, I'm not a big fan of the idea of any kind of protracted war or boots on the ground. But I think that I'm totally fine with bombing the nukes. I'm completely fine with beating the living shit out of the Iranian government. There's no way these guys can have a nuke. That's just off the table. And so
why? I personally don't care if they have a nuke.
So I really do. I think it's silly, but I think that's just not thinking. That's not really thinking about what that could result in. They would absolutely use a nuclear weapon. They're a theocracy that, dude.
I mean, we're the only ones who've ever used a nuclear weapon.
Oh, I get it. Thankfully, and I don't think we'd ever use one again. But just because we did something in the past doesn't mean we can't deal with something that's happening now. These aren't mutually exclusive. And I would argue that, yes, we did use a nuke in the past. But who else would so if we used it, to your point, they would absolutely use it. Way more of them.
Well, yeah.
So
yeah, we shouldn't.
They're extremely dangerous, and I think people are being really naive. Now, the thing that Marjorie Taylor Greene says about going in there on behalf of Israel, I think what makes it complicated, or not complicated, the distinction I would draw between Ukraine and Israel is pretty simple. Ukraine is a foreign, corrupt country in a border dispute with Russia. We have no treaty with them, no alliance, no history whatsoever. Ukraine is a cause. Israel, excuse me for letting my Catholicism seep in here, is modern-day Constantinople. If it falls, the West falls. I don't give a fuck if people disagree with me. That's just how I feel. So that's how I feel about it.
Yeah, now I understand some people feel that way. I personally think that they've been co-opted into. I think they've co-opted something biblical in order to propagandize people into believing that. I think Bibi Netanyahu is evil.
Maybe.
I think he has talked for decades about how he can control and manipulate America. He forced the vaccine on his entire country. He's not a good person. It's not the people of Israel that I have a problem with. It's the
Tell me
rulers.
about the Ayatollah.
The Ayatollah.
Yeah, give me your deal on the Ayatollah. No. Talk about him as much as you talk about Netanyahu.
Well, because I don't have to say that I dislike. Like I already don't like the Ayatollah. I don't like either one of them.
But I don't hear anyone spend any time.
I think we should stay out of it.
talking about the Ayatollah.
Because
Ever.
we're not defending
They're
Iran.
always talking about Netanyahu.
Right.
They're always doing it. But they
But I'm also
never
not- I'm not
fucking
defending-
talk
I'm not
about
defending
the
Iran, though.
theocracy.
I'm saying we should stay out of it. I'm not
Right.
defending Iran.
Right. I think you can't stay out of it. Iran calls
Yeah.
us the great Satan. They call Israel the little Satan. They want to fucking kill you, Brad.
Well,
They
what
wanna
about
kill
the
me.
fact? So they retaliated though, but they
Okay.
warned us, and they said, and we gave us time to get out of it. Our soldiers to get out of there. It kind of, I just think a
Yeah,
lot
that
of the
excuses
things are-
everything. That
No,
excuses everything.
I just think a lot of the it all fits.
Yeah.
If you, the war propaganda for the past 100 years that's been written, this entire
I
narrative
knew this was
fits it.
coming. I knew it was coming.
It's
The, I knew it was coming. The Ian is brainwashed stuff.
No, well, no. That's so.
Yeah.
Some people are gonna say I am too. It's
Yeah.
not. We all.
I
It's
don't-
different
I
opinions,
don't-
and it's
I
okay.
don't
It's
give
not
a
like
fuck.
it's different
Then
opinions.
give me
on
your
it.
argument. If I'm brainwashed, give me your argument as well thought out as mine. Mine was pretty damn well fucking thought out.
I didn't say you were brainwashed.
No,
I
know.
said that.
Just-
I said that my
Oh,
perspective.
this gets me angry because you know what? I fucking voted for Donald Trump. I knew he wouldn't turn this into something protracted. Everyone's being a fucking pussy.
Well, I hope that it doesn't turn into something protracted. That's what I hope.
Sorry.
I hope that he scales it back, and I hope that he doesn't allow it to happen. This
man.
training session
Sorry,
they did.
I was holding on to that. I can feel myself getting upset.
It's
I need
okay.
to
It's
take a
okay,
break.
and it's okay to have a different opinion. I know we
Yeah.
disagree on it. I'm not. I mean, it's perfectly fine.
I was
Like,
feeling defensive going into this, so I need to just let go.
No, but I'm not.
Yeah.
I'm not criticizing you for like you have your opinion. I have mine. I honestly don't know what is right. I'm eager to see what happens moving forward. I hope that Trump does not continue. I hope that this does not allow to go further, and I don't think
think
we're
he will,
approaching
man.
World War III. We'll see.
Yeah, I don't think you will. I really don't. I genuinely think he took a bullet for this for us, dude. I really do. Come on, we both know that that wasn't staged. That's impossible. You couldn't rehearse that 100 times and make it work that way. Come on, it wouldn't fucking work.
Yeah. So my
you
position, even based on that, my position. My position is always I start from a position of even if I really like and I like Donald Trump. I think
I
he's
know,
funny.
man, but
mine
I-
is distrust,
Yeah.
and they have to continue to earn my trust. constantly.
something, Brad. I
Yeah. No, politicians is not something I'll ever believe in, even when I
Well,
like
no,
them.
but I do believe that he's the best we're gonna get, man. I really do. After this, I don't give a fuck.
So look, and you could be absolutely right. The fact, so if based on the position of from that second video, if we do not continue forward with that, now these reports coming out now that are saying that we didn't actually do anything to harm the nuclear sites. It only sets them back six months. That starts to make me worry that we will do something else. I like the attitude of the Trump in that video that we saw, and I hope that is an attitude that we continue to see. Because I
do
don't
too,
like
man.
the way that Netanyahu. So Netanyahu immediately right after this, and Trump posted something on True Social for Israel to not go and drop any more bombs, specifically.
Right.
And Netanyahu immediately goes and drops more bombs. He's making Trump look like a fool. And I hope that Trump treats him exactly like he treats, what's his name, for Zelensky over in Ukraine. Instead of continuing to allow him, because Netanyahu has treated American presidents like fools for decades. And I hope Trump is the one to kind of stand up to it. That's my hope. We will see what happens. And war's terrible. And it's the intent is to divide and conquer the public, to try and engineer consent for support one way or another. I don't know what the truth is.
know what
I just know what I
hope that God helps the Iranian people overthrow the maniacs that are in charge. And the good guys win organically. And there's peace on earth. That's what I hope.
So you're hoping for regime change.
Yeah.
Right. All right. Well, now that we got that out here, let's bring in the current regime, the Ayatollah. Mr. Ayatollah, is that? Oh, his mic is muted.
Oh, I'm sorry. I am on a flip phone right now.
Oh, yeah, he doesn't want one of those Mossad phones.
Right. Yeah, you can't be tracked. You probably, or you just not have the technology over there with your dirt and rot country.
Well, I just wanted to say, Bradley, thank you for the kind words. Thank you very much. We
Is
both
that
hate
right? The kind
Netanyahu.
words.
And we're both with Iran.
Mr.
Right?
M- Mr.
We're both with
Ayatollah,
Iran. Death
I-
to the infidels. Death to little and big Satan. Am I right, Brad?
no, Mr. Ayatollah, I see that.
Can I get you to say it? Come on.
I think you're a piece of trash just as much as I think that Netanyahu's a piece of
Thank
trash.
you. Thank you
You're
very
welcome.
much, Brad.
Yes, you're welcome.
Thank you. Can I get you to say it? Death to the little and big Satan.
No, is this a true thing that you chant that quite frequently, or is that
I've been working on songs, all kinds of things, ever
really?
since I evacuated to the caves. Who doesn't like the caves? Am I right?
I don't know. I don't know. I've never been to the caves. I've never visited Iran. Is it nothing but caves?
Well, there's all kinds of caves. We have caves everywhere. It's the Middle East. It's like a big ant pile.
Yes, you're right. The entire country's a big ant pile.
So, I've been working on a lot here. So I want to say thank you for your presence, Brad, and death to you, Ian.
Yes, I didn't send you any presents.
death-
Thank
to you
you
too,
for your
Ayatollah.
silence.
Yeah.
It's refreshing to speak to an audience that fears me more than they fear cancellation.
Yes. No, I don't fear you. I don't fear you, Mr. Ayatollah.
Because you
fear
don't fear cancellation, Brad. You do not fear
No,
anything.
I don't fear that either. I've already been canceled many
We
times.
would have loved for you to have been born here in Iran as great soldiers for me.
No, I would not have liked to have been born. I think you're awful, Mr. Ayatollah. I don't
Thank
think.
you, Brad. Thank
just like
you.
you
Death
two-
to you, Ian.
Yes.
Death to you too.
Well, you seem to be wanting to cause us to come after you with this kind of talk, Mr. Ayatollah, taking my words and twisting them like that.
Hey, let's address the radioactive elephant in the room, huh?
What's that?
Trump is back.
Oh, you like Trump now?
No, I do not. Death to him.
Yeah, but he's back. Death to him, but he's back.
Hey, he's back spiritually, politically. Is he back legally? What do all your lefties out there say who love us so much?
What does that mean? Legally?
Free Palestine, right, Brad's audience?
No, Mr. Ayatollah, you seem to be conflating the idea of not wanting to get involved with the idea of supporting one side or the other.
Hey. He says he's going to bring back America back to greatness again.
Back to greatness
I
again?
say, which version? The 1950s, the 1980s, or in the 2 weeks he tried to buy Greenland?
Is that so? I don't know if that is the time when he was.
You
bringing
know,
America.
Brad, we don't even have Greenland. And I felt personally threatened by that.
By him wanting to get Greenland. So you guys have don't you guys have city infrastructure and people just living regular lives over there? Or is everybody just
Brad.
living in the dirt and tunnels?
He tried to buy my country once.
Is this a backdoor deal?
He sent Ivanka with a Bed Bath and Beyond coupon and a MAGA prayer rug.
He sent you a MAGA prayer rug for your religion and a Bed Bath and Beyond coupon, and that's all he was going to get your country for?
Hey, I told her you can't buy the Ayatollah, but you can only lease him through proxy war.
Oh.
Dun, dun, dun.
There you go, Mr.
wow.
Ayatollah, if that helps there.
Hey, let's talk Gaza, shall we?
Sure.
It's bad when the world agrees on one thing and still nothing happens, right?
Oh, jeez.
What's that?
Everyone's putting out statements like condemn the violence. We urge restraint. Please don't mess up the arms deals we already signed.
What are you talking about, Mr. Ayatollah?
Honestly, if you say you don't want war, stop telling people the starter pack. Stop selling them the starter pack.
The war starter pack.
Yes, with all the arms deals and all the all the wars America sells to all the
Are
other
you talking
countries.
about our arming other countries and stuff like that?
Hey, is the Ukraine still happening? Do you
It
remember
is.
the
Nobody's
Ukraine?
paying attention to it though, because we're paying attention to what's going on over there. So that's kind of on the back burner. It's very
It's
important one day. Then now this is very important apparently.
well, it's the war Netflix turned into a drama, and then you stopped watching halfway through season 2.
Are you? You sound so. You watch Netflix from the tunnel, the cave.
Hello?
Ayatollah.
Russia's still there, like mold,
What?
or a house guest that won't leave until they've eaten the entire Donbass.
Mr. Ayatollah, I feel like you want to get into some stand-up comedy. I feel like you wish if like instead of being Ayatollah, you'd like to
No,
maybe.
I'm not workshopping my stand up right now. Why would I do a silly thing like
Do
that?
you ever do any performances, any open mics or anything over there in Iran in the caves?
Hey, we've got to stay fresh somehow, right? And they say that there is healing tours of comedy.
Have you ever done improv comedy?
Improv, that's for the weak.
Oh, is that right? That's for.
If I
Wow.
if I became leader of the world, I would execute all improvisers.
Ooh. Wow. Even so, death to improvisers is really the main motto.
It's mostly things with eyes.
What is it you hate so much about them? Why do you want to kill them?
Well, first off, the ones that are really good at it are smart. So you want to kill them, you want to kill the smart people, right?
Mhm.
And then the rest of them are Bolshevik.
Yeah, they are. A lot of them are Bolshevik. These they're protesters, and that's kind of Bolshevik.
Yeah.
Hey, let's pivot, shall we?
To what? What do you want to
Yeah.
focus on now?
What do you guys think about AI? Is it replacing your jobs?
Not
like
yet.
it. No, I use it all the time at work.
Yeah.
So AI isn't here to replace journalists, elections, and inconvenient parts of historical facts.
Well, did you say inconvenient parts of historical facts?
Look, I'm not American, all right? My
Yeah, well-
English is broken.
So it does replace search, like Google search, and it is providing answers that aren't correct oftentimes that people
Yep.
might not be fact checking themselves. I shouldn't use that word; it's a gay word. People
Yeah.
aren't checking
That's
the integrity
the
of.
fact check.
Death to fact checkers, of course. Yes, that's something we can get on board with there. What,
Hey, so you call it misinformation, right?
that's what some people call it.
Yeah.
That's-
We call it branding.
yes, yeah. It's like Trump.
Yes,
Trump
death
calls
to
them-
the infidels.
Yeah, right. So that's what this is. Death to the infidels is a branding thing. Where were you educated?
Washington, D.C.
That's not right. All of you guys. Who was your roommate during your schooling?
It was actually Bibi Netanyahu.
That's I wondered
Of course,
if that
of
was
course.
the case.
Me, Bibi Netanyahu, and George H.W. Bush all had one of those tri-rooms together, like in that Saved by the Bell, the college years.
Yeah, that was one of you saw that show. I loved that show. Who was the screech of the group?
Oh, the screech of us was definitely Kim Jong Un.
He was there also.
Yeah, we all were there, all the despots.
Wow. So did you guys have a good time together? Did you get along? Like any memorable moments?
We laughed together, we cried together, we loved each other, we hated each other,
Yeah.
and we all did humiliation sacrifices together.
Interesting. What did that entail?
A lot of cross-dressing, homosexual acts.
Yeah. Any of those stick with you? Do you still do any of those?
There's nothing better than putting on a nice silk pair of stockings every now and then.
Right. Yeah. Well, Mr. Ayatollah, Ian, do you have any further questions?
No, death
we get
to
out.
you. Death to
Yes,
you.
death to you.
Death
Ian.
to you. Death
Death
to you.
to
Death to
you.
you.
Death to you, Ian.
Yes,
Death
death
to
death
you.
to you, Ayatollah. Thank you for joining us.
Death to you, Brad.
Thank you so
Especially
much.
that to Ian.
Is that like a greeting for you? I guess. Hello and goodbye.
I just walk around. I go, "Hey, not to the infidels," and usually people yell it back.
Yeah.
That's how I usually start my act out.
Let me real quick before we let you go here. We have Groby says the Ayatollah is definitely a catcher. Is that true?
It's definitely a catch.
A
Catcher.
catcher.
Yeah,
Yeah. Don't forget those last two letters. Yeah, like
I mean, I'd said that was a catch. Look at this beard. Look at the headshot that I'm showing on.
You're very beautiful. You look very sexy in that headshot. But he's saying you maybe a bottom instead of a top.
Oh, yes. Well, I'm old.
Okay. Well, we also have Denver says that I've met Mr. Belding from Saved by the Bell. He grew up in Chattanooga. One of Dad's buddies. I met him at a Halloween party as a young kid in Chattanooga when I was 7 or 8. I bet he was the nicest guy. Have you ever met Mr. Belding?
I mean, he's actually based on Gerald Ford.
Is that a true story?
Yeah, look it up. Of course, everything I say is true.
Okay.
Ayatollah.
Jack says that Ayatollah sounds like Triumph the insult comic dog.
Oh, shit.
Wow.
Wait a minute. Is this the insult comic dog?
I'm not a hand puppet.
Okay.
As a matter of fact, I'd forgotten about that thing even existing. So.
Yes. Well. Okay.
But
Mr.
they did make it based off of my voice because I'm more famous. I'm the Ayatollah.
Okay. All right. Well, we'll let you go on that, Mr. Ayatollah.
Okay. No longer impressed. The Ayatollah God.
You have a fantastic.
I'm Brad Binkley. Hey, let me think about something here. Before I leave, we need to get that tension back in the room that we had where you and Ian were about to kill each other.
That
No,
what?
we don't need to have that tension back.
We need to really bring that type of energy back to your show.
No, I started to get too emotional, and I apologize.
No, there was nothing wrong with it. It was just I thought it's okay to disagree.
Yeah.
You know, not in your country though, is it?
I'm gonna kick your ass, Ian.
Bring it on, Ayatollah.
That was not a nice thing to say, Ayatollah.
Gonna come over there and slap the shit out of you.
You want to do an exhibition boxing match, Ayatollah?
I will take you down on your UFC. I know you and your transgendered boxers that you have, sinner.
How old are you, Ayatollah?
157 years old.
Wow. Wow.
Are you a vampire?
Look, we have a lot of adrenochrome and things like that at our disposal here.
Oh. Oh.
Is there anything else you'd like to say, Mr. Ayatollah?
I'd just like to say I really appreciate, I don't really have that many friends.
You probably isolated quite
Well, you
often.
can count me out on that one.
And I thank you, Ian. Thank you. Thank you both for accepting me.
Yeah.
And, maybe I'll have you guys over by the cave sometime.
Never. Not on your life.
We
Absolutely
can
not.
put you in a small room in front of our flag.
If I'm
Nice
ever within
chair.
arm's reach of you, I'll kill you.
Listen, how would you like to be waterboarded in a small chair, fed nothing but maybe crackers and my dick, and say,
And you're what?
death to the infidels? Oh, hell yeah.
I would not like that.
It's on me.
That doesn't sound like much of a. Unless this is something you guys do in your country for sport. Is this something people enjoy?
Yes.
Waterboarding?
Yes, it's something people enjoy.
Yeah.
Especially infidels.
Yes.
So, look,
Okay.
guys, since we're so close, why don't you guys just come over, renounce your country, and we can all live happily in a hole together.
You know what? I think I'm going to stick it out here for now. I think today,
Well, Brad, we need allies in the West, so thank you.
Well, I don't know why you're thinking me, Mr. Ayatollah. I'm not your ally.
I mean, if you don't choose one or the other, you choose me.
No, I choose nobody, Mr. Ayatollah. I
You
don't choose
choose
either.
me.
I don't choose any of them at
You
all.
choose me.
I don't choose you at all. I don't choose you. I think you're homosexual.
That's to you, Ian.
Okay, death to you, Mr. Ayatollah.
Brad said that you're a bitch.
No, I've never spoken to you before in my life, Mr. Ayatollah.
Brad would never say that.
That's what you've gotten me on this call.
This is the best divide and conquer tactic you have.
Yeah, when it
is
comes down to it, Brad's still an American, and he'd have my back against you.
absolutely.
Yeah,
a
that's
homosexual
what
like yourself.
Israel. That's what Israel thought about you guys too.
Oh, is that right? Now you're gonna try that? No, you're. Man, I tell you what, Mr. Ayatollah, we need to get you on a debate stage with Mr. Trump. We get him on the show sometimes too.
Oh, big good. It doesn't Trump. It just gets this.
Is that how he talk? Are you doing Trump right now?
It just makes the day.
So you don't like Trump?
I don't like any of you guys, any of you punkies.
Okay, Mr. Ayatollah. Well, you know, maybe
what, did I strike a nerve?
you struck a nerve. I got to get you out here. Maybe Mr. Trump is listening and he'll come on the show. I have no idea.
Next thing you tell me, the Earth is round.
Oh, okay. We're gonna get into some flat Earth, Mr. Ayatollah.
Death to you all. Death to you all. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Ayatollah.
Death
Goodbye.
To you all.
Yeah, death to you, Ayatollah.
Death to you, Ayatollah. That was quite.
Wow,
I
what
was
a
not
treat.
expecting that. That was
What
a treat.
a treat.
What a personality the Ayatollah is.
Gotta say, you can see why he's a leader. He's got a lot of charisma.
Don't all these guys have a lot of
I
charisma?
know.
It'd be weird
I
to have
know.
some
Listen,
leader of a nation.
I get enchanted by Trump. I admit it.
So that was part of my set at Bro Grove. Is at the end of my set, I talked about how the new media, the people who say I am the media now, which is a stupid thing to say.
Such a stupid.
It's like saying I am on Epstein Island now. Like, why would you want to be the group of people that you've condemned for 10 years? But the cat turds and the Doms and all these people who go in the White House press room and they say and they finally get a chance to ask the president a question. They're like, "What's a woman, Mr. President?" Or they say, "Mr. President, can you believe that Zelensky didn't wear a suit?" Or they're like, "Why? How have you made your administration done so good at making your dick so beautiful?" They've been
questions.
fucking mesmerized. And so the premise was that, like, I want to go in there and ask a question, but I'll never get a chance to ask a question. But I do wonder if I would be charmed by the president, because he's very charming, into becoming the next cat turd. And then Josh came out as Trump, and we did a little back and forth with him. He brought me a gift. He brought me Mein Kampf as a gift to charm me.
Hilarious.
And we asked a couple of questions. It was a really great time. But what was great is the following night, on the Saturday night, is they were doing the Jake Shields podcast, and Sam was up there, and Owen Benjamin was up there, and I think Elijah Schaefer, I think is his name, was up there, and I can't remember who else. But it was right when the news broke, or Trump posted on True Social that we had bombed the nuclear facilities in Iran, and I think Sam or Elijah had it pulled up on their phone, and Owen Benjamin, who wasn't there the night before, so he didn't see the bit that we did, which went over really well. So everybody in the audience knew that there was actually a Trump impersonator there. Owen said something like, "Wouldn't it be funny if there was a Trump impersonator here who could read the bombing announcement real time?" I think it was Owen that said it, and the crowd kind of went, "Ah!" And then Josh, I looked at Josh, and Josh went up there. And he goes up there, and he reads it, and it was so funny. I tried to find the video because it was posted online, but it killed. He got like a standing ovation in the back of the room, and Owen Benjamin was like, "How did that even happen? There was such a guy who could do a perfect Trump impersonation in the room." And Sam was like, "Well, he was here last night," and Josh did a fantastic job. That to me was one of the highest
he never
moments.
lets you down, man. That dude is a star.
He's great. In fact, wouldn't you know it? I was going to move on, but we actually have the president, who was apparently listening, is here. Mr. President.
You know, Brad, I take time out of my day to listen to your show on Tuesdays.
I appreciate you listening. Did you hear the Ayatollah?
Yeah, I can't believe you'd have a guy like that on your show, Brad.
Yeah, I couldn't either.
Well,
I'm really upset. You know, not just that, maybe more at your producers, Brad. Maybe I'm more upset with your producer.
Yeah, it's all on my producers, Mr. President. But I take responsibility for everything. I figured might as well hear what the horse has to say from his mouth.
That's a very wise statement you just made there, Brad. Very wise.
Thank
And
you.
I'm proud of you for acting like such a grown up when you could have said, it was the intern's fault. Because I know that your setup's so big, and it's a big, beautiful setup you got over there with a lot of people working hard and a lot of interns, that probably just get college credits for working with you.
It's just me and Ian over here. It's me over here, Ian over there.
Yeah,
That
I don't have any
modesty.
producers.
That modesty, you two. I mean, that modesty. That's one of the reasons I like you so much.
Well, Mr. President, what did you think of what the Ayatollah had to say?
Well, he's not a very funny guy, And yeah, whoever called him out as Triumph, the insult dog, you're right, but that's what he really sounds like. I don't know if you guys knew that or not, but that was exactly what the Ayatollah really sounds like.
It was a little bit. It sounded like he was he saw that you had become kind of a stand-up comedian as president, and maybe he was following in your footsteps.
Well, they're all on X now. They're all on X. I was the first president ever on X.
Is he on X, the Ayatollah?
I mean,
really?
all these guys, all these high ups, and everybody over there, they're on X.
He kept threatening things like, in 12 hours, the world will see something they have never seen.
That's what he was announcing, that he was going to be on this show.
I didn't realize that.
These have all just been announcements to tell everybody he was going to come work his material on your show, I guess.
Well, I'm glad he promoted for us. Is it true that you wanted to buy Iran and you sent Ivanka over there with a Bed Bath & Beyond coupon and like a rug that he could pray on?
I mean, come on, Brad. Does that really sound like a deal I'd make?
I mean, I don't know. That's what he said. Did you try and make a deal with him?
I mean, plus, like, what do you get the guy that's got everything,
He lives in a cave, he says.
Yeah.
A house. Get him a house.
They do a lot of stand-up in a cave.
Yeah. Oh, my goodness, Mr. President. What, you just appeared in front of a brick wall, Mr. President. Have you been hacked?
Well, that's just that's the cyber wall or whatever here.
Did you just get hacked by Iran? Cyber hacked?
What would make you think that we got cyber hacked here?
Because there's been warnings that Iran could cyber hack America in retaliation. You've gone mute. You've gone. What is happening? Oh my! Mr. Ayatollah?
Hey, look who just got cyber hacked!
Did you just cyber hack President Trump?
Holy shit!
Who just got cyber hacked? All right. Hickory dickory dock. Death to the infidels. Right?
Okay, Mr. All right, Mr. Ayatollah. I would think you would use your cyber hacking for something more impactful than doing a Dice Clay joke.
Brad, I just want you to know that I'm trying to help you get your show global. That's what all my cryptid messages were over this last week.
Wait,
they were
so the whole conflict,
Brad Binkley,
the whole 12-day war,
Ian.
Death to you too. But are you saying the whole 12-day war was just a marketing campaign for this show?
Yes.
Holy shit.
I'm
We
flattered.
really want Brad to come over and work for Al Jahara or whatever it's called.
Is that over there?
I don't know where it is, but we partially own it amongst the other global terrorists.
I wish you'd reach out to me and make an offer, and instead of doing all this global, war.
We're trying to show you, hey, we can get you in every room of every house of every show whenever you want.
But you told us you live in a cave.
I do right now because they're trying to blow up my country.
Okay. Well, Mr. Ayatollah, we would like to get the president back to respond to you guys. I wish I could get you all in the same room if possible one day. If you were willing to talk, maybe we can solve the crisis here on this show right now. If Mr. President's still listening, I would like to get a response. Maybe we can find out what middle ground we can come to. What would be an acceptable deal for you, Mr. Ayatollah?
What a deal for what, huh?
For peace across the Middle East.
Oh,
Okay, so we just hacked our way back in. It took us
Thank
a
you.
minute.
Oh, Mr. You, well, that's good to
congratulations.
see the
Oh.
counter intel.
It just took us a minute to
So
get
the
the
warnings-
CIA to do what it was supposed to do. You know,
the warnings were right, Brad. We
lots
just
of
saw an
deep
increase.
state activity going on.
Yeah, so
You know,
We
look, this is more than just a global war. It's a war around the world, Brad.
right. So how can we end it? Let's make a deal right here on this show.
I mean, I want them to make a deal, but you know, it's like you know, when you're dealing with your little brother and your little sister. Let's just say the little sister's Iran, because I'm not going to emasculate Israel. And your little brother, you know, decides to slap or pinch your sister, you know, but you're a lot older, you know, in theory, because you know Israel's been there since the Bible. But you're a lot older in theory of democracy. You know, we're not really just a democracy. We're a constitutional republic, but we're not going to get into that right now. You know, I like to make the waves. Brad. You know, so,
Yeah.
yeah. So,
You like to make the what?
The weave. You know, he does the weave.
Oh, you do the weave. Okay, like you're doing
Yeah.
now. I see.
Yeah, he's doing the weave.
and so, you know, the little brother wants to, you know, slap the little sister around, but you got to pull him aside and be like, you know, no, we don't slap or beat our little sister, because we don't hit girls, you know. In Iran, they're just a bunch of little girls. And so, you know, but worst case scenario, if, let's say your little sister decided to murder your little brother, well, then your little sister's going to have to go to jail for a really long time. And by that, we mean being eradicated from the face of the planet.
So you're the dad.
I'm the big brother.
You're the big brother.
Yeah, the dad's absent. I think that's the whole.
There's no father.
That's what makes this dynamic
So you
work.
You guys are
orphans, like street orphans.
Yeah.
Right?
So Israel, Iran, and America are street
Yeah.
orphans.
Yeah, right?
Yeah, something along those lines. We're like 1920 street orphans. You know,
Right,
maybe
right.
there's a musical or something that could be.
Yeah,
Made
the
it
stock
into-
market crash killed their parents.
You're
Landed right on 'em.
you're a theater
Hmm.
professor. Maybe you should make a musical about this, like you know, like that one they did of where they made all the founding fathers black.
What is that? Is that the what was that one called?
Hamilton?
Yeah,
they make
that's
him
the
black
one,
in
Hamilton.
Hamilton? I don't think they made him black. They just made him kind of gay in Hamilton.
I thought they made them all black.
I don't know.
The
I haven't seen
slaves
it.
were all white actors.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Were they minstrels?
I have no idea. I have
Were they
no idea.
minstrel? Were they minstrating?
I didn't see it. I don't like musicals. I cannot.
I don't
can't
either.
stand them. I think.
Yeah, we
they're,
don't like musicals like you, Mr. President. You and the Ayatollah.
You know, I don't like musicals either. I like the Blues Brothers. That's my favorite.
Yeah,
musical.
that's a good one.
You know, the
Sure, sure,
Ayatollah,
sure. So you're
I
right,
heard
there are
that's his
exceptions.
favorite also.
Yeah, you guys.
You guys could watch that together and
Maybe that could bring.
oh my God, we got hacked again by the Ayatollah. This is unbelievable, guys.
Yeah,
Mis-
so one Jew walks into a bar.
No, okay, Mr. Ayatollah, I need to stop you right there. Is this going to be an anti-Semitic joke?
It's just a joke.
All right, go ahead.
All right.
One Jew walks into a bar, and then another Jew walks into a bar, and then another Jew walks into a bar. Next thing you know, you're in a bar in Israel, and boom! We blew it up.
It's not. I don't know if that's going to hit on
Yeah.
a nationwide audience.
Little orphan Larry and little Miss Muffet sat on a tuffet eating their shit out of their hand because they're Jews.
Jeez.
That's not a good joke, Mr. Ayatollah. That's terrible.
Look, I've been working on this for a while. All right, I've got.
Yeah, that one. You need to throw that one in the trash. That was
I'm
a
trying
bad
to
one.
get the confidence. Look, between
Yeah,
the
just
three
watch
of us,
some more Dice Clay.
I'm trying to get the confidence up to go out and do a, an open mic somewhere.
Yeah, go do an open mic somewhere.
Yeah, well.
Oh, you guys probably don't have microphones over there. Then.
Yeah, you don't have many open mics over there anymore. Do you outlaw those?
Well, I can have them.
Oh, so
You can just force
an open mic
people.
for you.
Yeah.
And then, I make the people come out and watch it.
Steve says you're crushing though. So.
Oh man, I am crushing. I am crushing. I'm crushing Israel.
No, I don't know about
I'm
that.
crushing the infidels.
I don't know about that.
And I'm crushing Greg.
You
Do
crushing.
you ever think about what you might do after, after you're thrown out of power?
I'm going to Mecca.
Doing what?
Using that MAGA prayer rug.
Oh, so you took it. You took the prayer rug. So we are going to be acquiring Iran.
What, do I look cheap? Of course I'm going to take the prayer rug.
Yeah, so it's good to know. America is going to be acquiring Iran. I think we've brokered a peace deal. That's fantastic.
Hey, Greg, can I get you to say it? That's
So-
the infidels.
No, I'm never going to say that. You're never going to get me to say that. I don't stand with you, and I don't stand with any foreign country that is trying to get us into a war.
It's just then Brad Binkley stands with Iran
and
Ukraine.
That's not true
Brad
at all.
Binkley loves the Ukraine.
No, that's not true at all. You're just a little short man with a fucking Napoleon complex, just like Zelensky over there. You guys probably boofing each other for all we know in a cave.
Yeah, like you're boofing everybody.
You're a fucking power bottom, Mr. Ayatollah, trying to snap these off with this motor butt.
You got a jackhammer for a bottom, and you just
Is that right?
just-
That's right. I told you that.
you just spring that butt on top of
Oh,
things
is that right? You back it off into a corner.
150 miles per
You
hour.
back somebody off in the corner. You'll snap a D off Shaquille O'Neal with that motor butt of yours. Historic.
Bangity.
I'll fight you, Mr. Ayatollah.
Yeah, well, you're just mad I got you with the jackhammer.
Oh, is that-
All right, guys.
that was a good one. I'll give you that. All right, Mr. Ayatollah.
Terrorizing the nations.
We'll see you later, Ayatollah.
All right, I love you guys.
Fuck
We
off.
can't. Yeah. No love for you, Ayatollah. All right. Well, that was just a wildly
That was a
unexpected.
treat. Wow, that put me in such a good mood, Brad. Thank you for that.
Yeah, sure. I was not expecting to have both the Ayatollah and the president come in and then a back and forth happen. And he really is like the insult comic dog, isn't he?
So funny. That's so funny.
Yeah. Okay. Well, thank you guys for hanging out in the chats for that and all of the great comments and for supporting us. And Ian, is there anywhere where you'd like to direct people?
You can always check me out at Reginald V Actor if you'd like. Again, thank you for allowing me to be so passionate. Thank you, Melina, and everyone else. Love you guys.
Totally, and I welcome the disagreement. I don't ever get mad about it. We're all figuring this stuff out. It's
We've
it's
been
a lot
friends
of
way too long.
a lot of information coming at me. So I love the I love the difference of opinion. I'm always like I'm always questioning my own opinion about the stuff that's going on because I always think stuff's a psyop, as everybody knows. But I think it's good to be able to passionately express things that are in disagreement and still be able to do it without getting mad at each other. Like they want people to not to be able to talk. Like I think in an ideal country, people can disagree respectfully. And we grow from each other's opinions.
This is why bars are were so important to the colonies.
Absolutely,
They were. Yeah.
No, they totally were. That's where they would meet up at the bars and they would have discussions about that. No, that's absolutely. And I appreciate you feeling comfortable enough to express your opinion, Ian. Totally.
Thanks.
Thank you guys. We appreciate it. We appreciate the Ayatollah and the president coming on, and we will talk to you guys next time. Have a fantastic rest of your day.